It's now time for the Mark Kotsay Show right here on A's Cast, brought to you by Nest Bedding. Love where you sleep. Go to their website. Get 10% off your entire order when you use the coupon code Oakland, whether you want your bed, bedding, sheets, pillows, you name it. Go to nestbedding.com. Mark Kotsay, I got to think getting home off that plane after the long flight and a long road trip had to be a good night's sleep in your nest bed.
It was definitely, Townie. It was a long trip. It was a grind. We played, the best team in baseball for a 3-game series, and then we went up north and played another really good team in the East as well.
You know, a lot of people at first were wondering, are the Rays really that good? And I think with this 13-0 start, and of course, this interview will play throughout the week. So who knows how long the streak will go? One more win will break the modern day record. You got to see those Rays. I mean, this is a fantastic ball club, very athletic, a lot of power, great pitching. So, I mean, losing to the Rays, I mean, this is a legit team.
It is a legit team. I will say, you know how candid and honest I am. I wasn't happy with our performance throughout the weekend, not because we got beat, but I felt there was just a little bit of lack of preparation, lack of energy, and that lies on my shoulders. So I take responsibility for that. But at the end of the series, walking away and then seeing them play against Boston, they are a really balanced team. 1 through 9 in their lineup, their bench, the guys coming in. It's tough to get a matchup against them from a bullpen standpoint because they're very evenly balanced. Last year you could see there was some dysfunction, maybe, if you want to say that. They weren't a tight-knit group, but then they came together and made a run at the end in September, and I think that's continued through this season because it's the same team. Big arms, they pound the strike zone, they've got high velo. Their bullpen's made of different angles, shapes in terms of their pitches. And so they've done a nice job of putting a team together that, has gone out and performed.
Now, let's talk about the Baltimore series. I know it didn't go completely the way you wanted, but your team really fought. Just what did you learn about your team in that 4-game set at Camden Yards?
Yeah, prior to that series, I addressed the issues from Tampa. Made sure that they were aware that if it ever happened again, that there wouldn't be a calmness about my demeanor or my approach to things. And they came out and they, like you said, they played good baseball. That's our focus is to be fundamentally sound, to give our chance to win every night. And I felt we did that in Baltimore. Unfortunately, yesterday, starting pitching, which we've talked about, which we will continue to talk about. When you can't get through 3 innings, it's tough. But to our credit, we battled. We took great at bats. We got back in the game. We gave ourselves a chance to win. And unfortunately, we didn't end up on the right side yesterday.
And talking about lengthening the lineup, I mean, just looking at the scorebook every game, I mean, every guy 1 through 9 was doing something. He had 44 hits in the series, so the offense came alive. And I really want to address 2 guys because one of the things about our game is all the special stories in our game. Let's start with Brent Rooker. I mean, what a series he had. 28 years old, maybe finding himself in the big leagues right now. Talk about your outfielder.
Yeah, so for Rook, we got him from the Twins. We waiver wired him. He had some injury issues there in Minnesota, and the year that he really started out of the gate and was performing at the big league level, got hurt. And so it took him back. Talking to Rocco Baldelli, the skipper of the Twins, he said great things about Rook. We obviously saw his performance in spring training, reason he made the roster. And, given time throughout the short season of 10 games or so, he got his opportunity and really took advantage of it. And, he's taken some great at-bats. Yesterday was fun to watch, 2 home runs, 1 to dead center, 1 to the pull side. Just a great series for Rook and the opportunity he's taken advantage of.
And the other player, it warmed my heart, and I know we talked a lot about it on A's Cast. I got a chance to do TV this week, and I made sure I really highlighted this. Carlos Perez. I mean, hadn't been in the big leagues for years, hit his first home run since 2018. You put him in the lineup the next game, he hits for you again. I mean, you want to talk about a great story, perseverance. My God, Carlos Perez.
Yeah, so Carlos, that was the last sign when Pena got hurt in spring training. We had a young catcher who was 24 years old, and Kyle McCann, and rather than rushing him, we went out and signed a guy that had been with our organization. Like you said, been really successful in the minor leagues, hasn't been in the big leagues in 5 years, and the at bats that he's taking. Right now, getting his opportunity, he's taking full advantage of it. I think he laid 3 hits out there yesterday. So, it was great for us to have him on this club and helping Shea in that aspect as well, a young catcher trying to mentor him. But what a success story to grind through his career and then, like you said, be given this opportunity and taking advantage of it.
In game 3, I think we all just love the way you and your team did everything they could to get the win. We saw 2 bunts in 1 inning, including the safety squeeze. Just talk about the mentality right now. There is no blueprint. Right now, it's about going out and winning any game you can and letting Wallachuk go into the 7th inning, too, and getting over 100 pitches.
Yeah, it's a time for these guys to come together and dig in and find ways to win games. And that moment in that inning, Diaz really started it with the base hit bunt. First and second, no outs. He bunts to the right side, gets a hit, and it really started from there. So a veteran player, a championship winning player, showing the younger guys, that in times that are difficult, let's do things just small and let's do things to win games. And it was great to see. I made a comment that it's not been the tradition of the Oakland Athletics to do those things.
Yeah.
Maybe it has been prior to my time in the league, but we're always thought of as the big power slugging team. So, the hope is that we're in these games. We get this opportunity to play offense. We get these young guys in Ruiz a chance to steal some bases, and hopefully continue to build this identity and this mindset that came out of that game on Wednesday in Baltimore.
Interesting homestand with the Mets coming to town, then the Chicago Cubs, who've gotten off to a better start than people thought. Obviously, we're going to see some of our old friends that are on the Mets, but what do you think of the Mets so far this season? They're just a game over 500 as we start the series.
Yeah, their team, they're powerful. You got Pete Alonso, you got Marte, Mark Canha. The payroll is one thing that jumps out at you, right? When you think about the Mets. And
it really jumps out at you. You never played on it. You played on some expensive teams, but never a team like this.
Yeah, never a team like this. And, they're starting pitching. The pitcher tonight that we're facing, they signed. We don't know a ton about him, but he's 2-0. He's got into the 6th twice in both starts. So he's got a power arm, split, and a little slider that we're going to have to compete with. And, overall, Scherzer on Sunday. So it'll be a tough series for us. If we continue to play offense and continue to do things we can, looking forward to taking 2 out of 3 from these guys, or possibility of laying it out there with them.
It's one thing that you did as a player, and they always talk about teams start to take on the personalities of their skipper. Is you came to play, you came to fight every day, no matter what it was, no matter how bad your back was, no matter what was going on, you came to win. How important is that to make sure that that's being instilled into your team, that they fight the way you did?
Yeah, no question. I mean, we're here to win baseball games. This is the major leagues. And I said it last year, we're going to have young players that are going to have peaks and valleys. You'd like to see the linear climb, the slope that is steady and slightly uphill. But in reality, if you've watched enough baseball and you understand what experience does and what the timeline is, it's for young guys, it's a challenge. And it's not only a challenge for these guys to want to prove that they're major league players, but to continue the success. And so our challenge is staying positive through this process and come to the yard with the attitude that we've got a chance to win every day. And that's my job, and that's my responsibility. And I take that on my shoulders. I'll wear it on my chest, and we'll show up to fight every night.
Great stuff. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, Tony, thanks for having me, buddy.